I'm Silverraptor, and welcome back to a Wargame Red Dragon video of a multiplayer game, believe it or not. I am playing Wargame again, and this is more of just a kind of heads up. You see, I want to tell you all that I am working on the Second Korean War. And, well, YouTube has decided you're too small and insignificant to just send a message out to the 400 plus subscribers that you have about the exact situation. So instead of leaving you guys wondering what was in the dark, I decided I needed to make a video explaining what's going on and everything like that. And I decided, well, since it's going to be mainly about the Second Korean War campaign and everything like that, why not actually just go out and play a war game and have that running in the background while I do this initial intro and everything like that as I'm setting up. Yeah, this is going to be just a quick catch up you guys up to speed, let you know what to look forward to, and then followed by an actual war game playthrough. So what I'm doing, I'll just give you right now that I'm just setting up. I'm playing a South Korean general deck, and as you can see, I'm setting up to go down to the middle to the hotel. South Korean it's not an accident. It was on purpose. It's a little bit of practice more with the Second Korean War, than we'll be using those units a lot. So, Second Korean War. Why is it taking so long? Well, remember, total victory challenge. I can only get total victories in the game. And the Second Korean War is, oh, how do I put this? Engineered to be anything but a total victory. They've engineered it at the very beginning that you are to be pushed back. Now, that is the point of the campaign. If you are supposed to try to stop being pushed back, mount a defense, and push forward. The problem is, that kind of breaks the total victory because I need to be able to do a total victory every time, and I can't just hold them off. I have to always keep pushing them back, and that's proven to be a little difficult. And rather, I should say, it's difficult to be consistent of doing those things over and over again. I like to do these a couple of times in my initial practice runs to make sure, yep, I got it down. This is pretty consistent. Yeah, the AI has some variables that they can do here, but it's nothing I can't adapt to or everything like that. That's going to be difficult, but I am making progress. I am fairly certain I'll be able to do the Second Korean War campaign proper, do the recording. It's going to be out. Don't worry about that. The other thing is that you guys are going to be seeing other various videos that are not war game or anything like that, and that is partially because I am in actually the transition of moving to computers. I got a new computer. It's more powerful than the old one that I went on. The old one's been having a little bit of trouble and stuff like that, age and such. And I have a lot of footage, and I mean a lot of footage of games and stuff like that. And so I am in the process of actually just instead of just moving all the old footage from this old computer into the new computer, that's just going to take a lot of memory bandwidth and procrastinate mainly. I've actually just been rendering the videos, putting them in, and so that's why there's a lot of War Thunder and PlanetSide 2, and I'm just getting those done and taking care of so that I can go to the new computer properly. So, just thought I'd let you know about that, and it looks like the action is started. So basically, I drop out some Mistral after this jet strip comes through, and I instantly shoot that down for first blood. And my job is, as you can see, I'm doing two-pronged attack. This group is going to be going to secure here. This is a very important area on the buildings, and stuff like that. I'm back into basically this scribing mode. I have to keep them from coming across the bridge, or at least push them back to the river. This is the way this side wins. And I've got this force over here. So yeah, we're going into war game mode. I don't know if I got everything I wanted with the announcements done, but I think I got most of it, and I can always go back later. So the first thing I'm trying to do is I'm moving this force up to go and take this. These are in wheeled vehicles, so they are faster. These are in tracked vehicles, that's why I sent them along here in this main area. And I have a K1 has moved up, and I actually have these M36s. And after playing War Thunder, I will say, I do have a lot more appreciation for these vehicles and stuff like that. The fact that it's in a 90mm gun and everything, it's pretty impressive, I'll say. So anyways, these tanky Shashaos, they put them here to try to hold off all of our forces, but with my M36 and K1, these will be taken out, and the Habyong 90s, as well as my Jikasa Higwagi Bon, which are also recoilless rifles. I'm just pushing up slowly but surely. I'm keeping my recon kind of back because I'm going to need that later. And I also bring in a saber, always really fun to use, to really take these Takeshashaos down a peg. So anyways, these Happy-Young 90s are moving up, and they're going to be taking this building here, as my M36s and K1s are continuing to pepper the enemy down here on the side. I have Mistrals here. They've already shot down a number of helicopters, and my push is continuing to going on. And I'm moving these K200s around so that they can use their machine guns and able to take out these Takeshashaos and everything. Lee Red move up, but they're now full broadside to this. There's a J-22 Oro that has moved in. Cortel is firing, my Mistrals are firing, and my Mistrals do take it down. As my Shosong Soos are actually pushing up. There is a rocket toss out here. It just got taken out as well. And as you can see, I am indeed pushing forward hard to take out these forces. My K200s were taken out by the Takeshashao, but that is fine. I wanted my infantry to be as strong as possible. And they're just slowly peppering away at this. My ally is consolidating this fortress. They sent a lot of forces over here to go and secure this, so I'm moving all of my vehicles that dropped off by Chosong Soos over here. I have my saber destroy this rocket toss, but an L-19 comes in to take that out, so they are quick on the air superiority front. And they also have some frogs that are also trying to hold off my enemy forces. But these things are autocannon, so they will start ripping apart enemy forces as well. Takeshashao is all that's left, and there's a little bit of napalm fire going here, and I have secured this location, moving up to Mistral and everything. Now all this has to do is to take out this area. As for my allies, we've got Sander Knight. He is just going to be holding off this right side, setting up this position, and then he's going to be coming over to try to help us out. Our other ally, Roar, he is going to be set up an ATGM. He's got a few Commando Marines. He kind of took the brunt of the assault when one came across, but he wants to come across here at the Echo and basically seize the other side of the river so that we can begin slowly squeezing and pushing against the enemy. These ZZZs are trying to, I don't know, make a retreat. But he's right in view of the K1 and M36. My KM900s are actually going as a scout. They're moving forward to basically see what is going to shoot at them, and I can kind of gauge how much force I need to go and push forward. I've seen that these commando pairs are against these Lee Red, and I decide, well, these Chosong Soos should be able to move up and help that out, as well as my AFVs are moving up with their 25mm cannons. They're going to be taking out any kind of vehicles and infantry that they can. I'm just going to do an active reconnaissance, which basically means throw your forces at the enemy and see what shoots back at them, kind of thing. And if not much, you can continue forward. So here are some Proletariat 90s with those Brumbar missiles. I think they have. I was able to select them. But anyways, we're moving. I keep moving up my shows like 2, and I notice, hey, they don't actually have this forest area. So I'm going to be able to move that up. Lereg is taken out by the K1 and the revealed itself, and the rest of my forces should be able to move forward. My vehicles are trying to open up with their machine guns and autocannons at range. Try to do as much as they can. I'm trying to be able to take out these Proletariat 90s because they are panicked, and I feel like I could be able to kill them. But with the death of that one, I decided, yeah, this kind of needs to be back up. This has gone on enough, but that did kind of clear the way. The Roar signaled that, hey, they don't actually have that much stuff here, so his Commando Marines are now crossing the bridge so that he can get across, and I have an OH-6 moving up, basically the spot for the enemy forces, because I am bringing an AH-1J, and this should have been able to take out the Palo Branchi that were in those cities right there. So I'm setting my AH-1J right here. Hera 2 is firing at the Commando Marines that they come across, and some AA did shoot down the AH-1J. It's interesting to shut down the AH-1J and not my actual OH-6 helicopter, which I quickly moved that back. And the beginning of artillery is starting to come through after my K1 M36 did so much work as well. But I am starting to move up into reinforcements into this forested area, trying to hold off the enemy forces as they are pushing forward. Commando Marines are gauging long range against panicked Proletariat 90s. I think the Commando Marines will have an advantage. A pretty accurate light machine gun, whereas the Proletariat, no, they have the same accuracy. But yeah, those proletary, they've got pretty nasty ATGMs. Oh, they're not broke bar, but they're yeah, like I said, pretty nasty ATGMs. This guy's putting a bunch of Norovs up here, and they are quickly being artilleried by my ally. We had the Caesar out, nice and handy. And this UH-60P was supposed to be at the start. It's basically a Black Hawk with an M60. To fly around here and get to this mountainside, drop off my forces, and then just sneak around so I can have some eyes. Well, as you can see, I completely forgot about him. So, yeah, as I came back to this, I haven't played this in a while, so I can be forgiven for a little bit of sloppiness. AH-1T, I have TOW-2s coming in, and rocket pods to take that out. Oro's coming in, dropping some bombs. But Roar is too quick on the draw, does move his commando marines out of harm's way. And I have completely pushed the enemy back to their side of the river, which does allow me to cut off this way so that they can't use this road anymore for reinforcements to try to take over Echo, allowing Roar to be able to resupply additional forces over here. And my cargo truck is going to be moving up to help resupply out my forces here, as they've taken quite a bit of damage. I moved the M36s and K1s up, as well as additional M36s. And you can see they're taking quite a pounding, and I even lose a couple right there. So they're relying heavily on their artillery. L-19 is moving up. I had a peace bridge kind of flying overhead, but I just kind of forgot that the peace bridge should have been able to just come straight from the spawn point and intercept immediately. So I did lose the peace bridge for free right there. But I'm quickly getting back into the groove. I was amazed at how quickly I got to hyper-focus into this game and was able to multitask and everything. I guess, like riding a bike in Wargame, you don't forget how to blow things up incredibly well. This M36 did take a hit from an anti-tank weapon of the infantry, which is kind of surprised that didn't survive, but a follow-up shot did indeed kill it. J-22 Oro is coming across to drop his bombs onto the commando marines here. But I have a peace bridge coming in. It's going to try to shoot with those aims to shoot him down. Doesn't get it quite in time, and so my peace bridge is going to have to be evac'd out before any more forces try to go. But there is an AA piece that does take it down to 1 health, so he's going to be out for quite a while. C-55 is moving up, and there's a bit of an artillery battle coming through between these Caesars and well, whatever artillery they have decided to grace us with, as they're apparently trying to take out the Crotel. They have a Mephisto, which is going after the T-55. Mephisto, the hot one is, well, it's 50%. I stand corrected. It is more accurate than I thought. There's even a Weasel TOW-2 here. My deck doesn't really have ATGM for South Korea, and after playing this game, I know a little bit of tweaks that I wanted to do with this deck to make them proper. I'm heading back some cargo trucks for more resupply. A MiG-29 I saw coming in with those bombs, actually going for the Commando's Para for Roar. That was taken out. That one man was 400 or 500 kilogram bombs dropped there, and I said, opportunity, and I'm bringing in more of those recoilless rifles, which have 1400 range, so they should be able to cover a good sizable area to keep them from getting across. And now we've engaged in kind of a bit more of static warfare. They have an L-19 out. I think he's going to go for that pirate, but he got shot down by an AA piece. So you have an L-19 that's flying around in the back. No idea what's going on here. Sanders did do incoming, basically say where his artillery was going to be landing. My infantry got revealed, which was a little annoying. Tankish Shao fired their recoilless rifles at at my forces, which got a barrage back, but this looks like the building absorbed most of the damage. My missiles are taking an artillery barrage. They must have been firing their missiles at whatever flying units that were stupid enough to get too close. And like I said, this is back to a bit more static-y warfare. I'm going to take a brief break to just to finish up the closed argument, make sure all my thoughts were heard about that. So yes, you're going to be seeing a bit of different variety of videos. PlanetSide 2 and War Thunder, a little bit older videos and such, but I just want to get it cleared up, get it done, dismantle this computer. This computer is going to be retired as a video computer, maybe just like more like work-related stuff. Files and business related, and then this new computer which I have, which is much more powerful and able to handle stuff much better. That's going to be my new dedicated computer, and I'm hoping that I want to get to the Second Korean War on that video, but the I don't know, it's unfair to viewers to wait too long, so I'll see how long it is to get the last of my videos rendered and cleared up, but yeah, we will see. Peace Bridge is going head on against the L19, and while it did do some damage, it just wasn't quite enough. The Peace Bridge does get shot down. I do love the Peace Bridge, it just does have a little bit of shortcomings of only having the AIM infrared missiles. Tanky Shishao is firing with the recoilless rifle. It's panicked, and the M36, which is also panicked. It gets taken out by artillery piece, and more artillery continues to rain down onto my forces' heads. These cargo trucks, I actually see the artillery landing. I just kind of stop them, and they're just kind of sitting here, waiting for the artillery to stop. And then once I'm sure the artillery stopped, they get to move forward to basically repair and give the nice hugs to all of these forces that they're still loved. And here's some supplies and everything. Some units tried to cross the river, didn't get very far. Soshang Su's are a bit revealed to this Taiki Shishao, which I guess is still alive. M36 is still trying to return fire, but it's only 25% accuracy and a building that can basically stop the shot any time. It's not looking too good. And M84 was trying to push back the forces, but has to go into a retreat as Roar seems to be consolidating more and more forces across the river. My job is basically to stop them here, stop the reinforcements, and allow him to just do this slow creeping motion of moving up and being able to surround the enemy, and then we can both push the enemy simultaneously heading back in. Basically, reinforcements are coming in. I'm bringing in my KM-163. I really love these things because not only are they pretty good at taking out aircraft, they absolutely rip apart infantry, and when they acquire a target, they will keep firing until they go click, and then all 1,100 of those bullets in the Vulcan gun are out. So if you need to have a sustained amount of fire, you'll want to use those. More artillery's coming in down onto these right here. I did bring in some Chisat Awagi bombs. I dropped them off here. They're going to be trying to make their way into the building to try to see if they can take out these Noranovs who are firing at the forces. We have the ZSL who's being annoying and fire machine gun. My third suit are finally be able to retreat. They were cut off as a firewall, I guess you could say, with blocking them from coming forward. Some FAPs are coming with some supplies for who knows where, and I'm telling my K1, no, they don't get supplies. This road's closed. They didn't pay their toll boost tax. But anyways, the DSL, they're moving up. That's a big mistake. Easy prey for my K1. My M36 is completely out of fuel right now, something I didn't have to deal with in War Thunder. As my K1 does take that out. L19s are coming in. Looks like they're going for the Raphael and my Peace Bridge. So we evac them, but they fly right over our forces. And my Mistral does take out one of those L19s, which is very good. My G-Salva Hawagi Bad are firing. Do take out the Norov. So I'm able to shoot back across and force them to head back. More artillery. The KM-163 did get taken out by artillery. That kind of could be that there's a recon right here. As you can see, I'm taking a bulk of the pounding from their artillery and their forces. And like I said, this is allowing Roar to continue his flank, his left hook going forward. L19 is going up against Raphael and Peace Bridge. My Peace Bridge ignores that and goes straight for the jet strip, takes it down, but does get hit by a huge variety of radar missiles. And I see that, those radar missiles going for the Raphael. So that caused me to bring in the F-16C, which is HARM anti-radiation missiles. Sees the Furiosa, fires it, takes it out. Another missile going for the Buck, but misses. Have to manually evac it because it has this AMRAAM missile, so it doesn't automatically go out. And the Pongay 2, they're firing all of their missiles at the F-16, and well, it's shot down. That's kind of tragic how it goes. But I have many more of those to spare, don't you worry. And meanwhile, like I said, it's a bit more staticky warfare. We're just kind of building up. Constantly ferrying my supplies back and forth to the front line to repair everything and get the forces all nice and ready. The M36 is now calm after being panicked for the longest of time, and here is actually an M47 Patton, which is actually kind of funny to see. This is a Yugoslavian unit, which kind of makes sense. We probably sold them as a retirement vehicle. So, yep. Yeah, like I said, I have a new more found appreciation for these kind of older vehicles. Now I kind of reached them at the tier, so it's kind of interesting. I'm like, oh yeah, I know how that vehicle works. like the M36, which is its open top 90mm cannon. So yeah, it amuses me greatly when I was playing this, when seeing those kind of units. In the meanwhile, we've got more artillery landing in towards where my forces are. K1 is moving up. I saw that they were trying to take advantage of this, so I did move it up right into the middle of the artillery fire. It does hit the Type 59, but does not quite kill it. It's now on 1 HP. It is not doing good, as PT-7089s are firing back, as well as all these other tanks moving as well. And my K1 does get taken out. This does allow the enemy more free reign to kind of move up and push forward. Artillery is landing on that Type 59 1B. Getting close, but not quite taking it out. Speaking of artillery, I am bringing in 2 K9 Thunders. These are basically the Paladin, the South Korean versions of the Paladins. And they fire 3-round bursts, so this is 6 rounds of basically precision fire. Then I'm going to now begin raining down onto my enemy to destroy. Chomahos are actually going across the bridge, which I'm a bit surprised. I do have a lot of my forces here ready, so I'm moving my Sosong-Su. They have laws, 16 AP power, and that 16 AP power is enough to take those out. My K9s are actually dropping the artillery on the bridge because I saw them moving across. They were very quick to acquire and shoot the target. Me panicked now. I felt comfortable having my recon fire its Carl Gustav, take out the tanks that are across, and the Sosong-Sus continue to fire their laws near point blank into the Chonma-Hos, taking them damage. I'm moving the KAFV-25s up with their 25mm cannons, because those can also do quite a bit of damage straight into point blank range. Chonma-Ho 5s are being taken out. Jikasa Hawagi Bas have to move out of the way of the artillery that's coming down to where they were, and they also are able to contribute with their recoilless rifle and taking out those tanks. So I was able to save the situation, as an HQ-7 moves up a bit too much, and 25 millicannons immediately acquire a target, take that out. So I am rapidly acquiring, ranking up points. And the enemy seems to kind of just try to figure out what to do. That was a push. It didn't quite work. They are just basically consolidating their forces. These PTZ-89s, these are very good units that just hold the line. Very rapid fire, 10 rounds a minute. Very accurate, very powerful guns. Do not underestimate those. I wasn't this game, and having actually my K9s fire back at where they were last seen, but it seems they are going to be retreated back smartly out of the range of where my artillery is landing at those forces. Milan F3 looks like he's trying to take out that Patton. He's going to cross. Can he get it? These are now 50% stable accuracy, and actually going for the BTR-60 BB by accident. He does take that out, and I think now he's properly acquiring the Patton, which doesn't see that there's a missile that went and killed its enemy's forces, and the Patton doesn't last against a modern missile. We've got some Commando Marines that actually came across in these VABs, and they're going up against a recon. Takes that out. That was providing them the intel to artillery my stuff. So the KF-900 does allow them to move up. They're able to see better. I do move my Mistrals up, and then going to be replacing some reinforcements, as I need to build up, because I've just been constantly hit upon by these artillery, and I just need to recoup up. Sanders is artillery this building position, as we are just kind of softening them up as we, again, move forward. F3 is firing a missile, which I'm pretty sure is more expensive than these DSL that are actually driving across the area. As I am trying to find something for these vehicles to do, I'm actually just moving them across over here to the forest to meet up with this recon. I finally realized halfway through that I had him sitting around here, so he did indeed fly around. The Blackhawk did land and drop off the forces, and now they're just kind of moving in to help provide better eyes for Roar to be able to move forward. BTR is moving up with some BDB. They're going to quickly rip apart the Commando Marines. The Commando Marines are smartly using their anti-tank weapons to take out the BTR, but they do get stunned at the last second. The VAB is going to be firing at the Revetka, which fired an RPG but missed. BTR 60PB moves up, and that autocannon is hella strong. And it looks like a Tornado IDS does move up and completely stop those BDB in their tracks from being able to move up. That was really well done on their part. Again, more reinforcements, more cargo supplies, more Jikasa Hawagi Ban recoilless rifles, fire support. As I'm moving up a K1A1, this time I want to make sure I'm able to kill them on the first hit. 22 AP power. Armor's a little bit lacking with only 18, but for 140 points, this is still a really good tank. Best one that the South Koreans can bring in. I'm also bringing up a BO. This is just to give me a bit more AA suppression fire and helicopters that might try to move up to try to stop them. K1A1 moved up another vehicle. The other vehicle got targeted because it's easier to take as the K1 quickly tries to reload. Fires, takes out the recon, which was what I was mainly after. Going to quickly turn, but instantly set upon by the PTZ-89, so it's a very smart move. And with the combined amount of firepower, does get taken out relatively quick, much to my disappointment. So I knew I had to be a lot smarter with my tanks from this point on. So this road isn't as shut down as I would like, but I can still shut it down relatively well. Cargo trucks actually took some damage, so they're moving back. This cargo truck is moving up to help resupply these Mistrals after being artilleried a bit. And then probably regroup with this cargo and then help out these poor souls who have been artilleried readily upon. So yeah, this has just turned kind of bit into an artillery war for the time being. I actually moved up my K9 Thunders. They don't actually need to stay around the fob. They've got plenty of ammunition. I moved them up here because it brings them closer to the front and actually narrows the circle of route where their artillery is. And I wanted to be precise as possible so I could quickly just drop upon certain units and take them out. As you can see, there are still some BDV, but they're not going to really last long as these commando pilots are spotting them for the AMX-10 and such. Roar continues to pour more and more forces across, which is actually kind of smart. This forces the line to stretch out on their end. As the Type 59 is moving up, it does get taken out by the ATGMs right here. So even though I have this force locked down, these ATGMs are really locking down this road. Mainly as the Commando Marines are trying to move up to get a good view of those PT-79s. A VPM is moving up. I'm not quite sure what Roar is trying to do here, why a mortar has suddenly become a frontline unit. I think this might have been a misclick on his part. Maybe he's doing some active reconnaissance scout. Something. No opponent would ever expect a mortar to be a scout. That's for sure. BTRs, of course, are going to say no. And as you can see, there's a lot of stuff up there. Spat Vodka is actually engaged my OH6 and does actually shoot it down. It was providing a little bit of intel. Kind of forgot about this little guy. As I can say, my attention's kind of focused all over, up and down, K9, left, center, and I'm trying to continue getting new umbrellas for the artillery rain that keeps raining down onto this forest. So here you guys, discount on artillery umbrellas, healing you up, medicals included. Someone, I think Sandra told me to get line of sight onto this, to get on them right here. So I actually moved up that Black Hawk. It was meant to kind of dive, but doesn't see where the enemy was. And M84A is in fact moving up. This is probably Roar to move his Tiger Had forward with those Hot 2 missiles. It does see the KFV V25s and it's going to be inquiring and taking them out, but the Had have him in his line of sight with the Hot 2. And one hit onto the front armor does take quite a bit of damage as my Peace Feather comes in. Both of those first two Maverick missiles do miss, but it does take out the AA piece that was right here, as well as the Tiger had taken out the tank that was there as well. I have my, basically the F-16 coming in to search for seed, but after not finding any, I decided it's better to move them out. Bosong 2 are moving across against these Commando Marines, and the Bosong 2 are pretty good regular infantry for the North Koreans. And again, more artillery is coming. Eventually, I get tired of that artillery, and I start telling my K9 Thunders to counter battery them during this game. Commando Marines do need help, but so far these Bosong 2s are not too much of my concern. But it looks like Sander is going to be trying to back them up with his own artillery. And I think my K9s, are they also going to those Bosong 2s to help out? Actually, yes they are. They're accidentally hitting Sanders' forces. Whoops, my bad. I am so sorry. They were supposed to actually stop the Bosong 2, so they fired short. They will be reprimanded. They will be facing a potential court-martial. Apologies for that. KFB 16 does actually find a couple of radar, including a Tor. That was pretty valuable, but does get shot down into the process. AMX move up with their autocannon, or picked autocannons. No, actually these are the AMX 1390s. Okay. It's actually fun playing these vehicles with the oscillating turret. Don't have great gun depression or elevation, but they're fairly fun to play. Commando Marines are moving up into the building here as my Peace Feather comes in and does take out one of the Chomaho 5s. I have like 6 Peace Pheasants into this deck. These are very good with those 4 Maverick missiles. They're basically any tank you want in their line of sight will be killed. No questions asked. Just how many missiles they want to spend. That's the only question you need to ask them. So anyways, I see that there's also a group of tanky Shishaos that are going to be moving across into this building. And instantly I'm going to tell my K9s to say, hey, these tanky Shishaos, yeah, I don't like them. Take them out, please. And as you can see, they are gearing up, aiming, and their first barrage. Unison artillery shells flying across as those tanky Shishaos are trying to get into the building. And the tanky Shishaos artillery lands right on target, taking all 4 squads of tanky Shishaos out in a single barrage as they were just kind of all grouped together. So let that be a lesson. Yeah, your forces, if you're all grouped up, your enemy might actually see where they're going and do a interception artillery barrage like I did right there. So the enemy's kind of, yeah, doesn't seem to quite know what to do, how to push out. They're just kind of spreading out all over and pushing at all different fronts, but they're not even coordinated. And our forces are actually working well together, I'm going to say. This Mirage, what kind of is that? Cluster? Cluster is following in. Where is it being dropped? Oh, it's just evac orders. So anyways, they're kind of just pushing out, trying to see if they can just stop these AMX 40s and AMX 10s from being able to stop them as more artillery is coming in. My K9 is also helping out. But a T-64 BV and a T-80 BV, those are going to be quite hard to stop. But this Weasel TOW 2 is going to be able to do quite a bit of damage to them with those TOW 2 missiles firing in. Does take out the T-64 as my AH-1T is going to move up. He was there to take out the tanks, but seeing as there's no more tanks, I'm like, well, might as well use your 100 missiles to take out the VDV. And we're just continually slowly but surely squeezing them out until we're ready to actually do our push as well. AH-1T, now it's out of rockets basically, but I have no need. The TOW 2s are all still in there, and that's basically mainly what I brought them in for. So I just calmly move them back as my K9s prepare to another round of artillery barrage to move forward. And again, this kind of falls into more a calm, a static calm with just artillery flying back and forth everywhere. DSLs, I get acquired by the K9s under just because they're there. And it looks like more of their forces are pushing into the building here. And yeah, we're just slowly moving it out. I bring my Peace Feather because of the T-80 BV that was spotted there. I brought my OH-6, but it decided to just kind of hover low. So I told it to change altitude to get high so we could actually see the T-80 BV. Peace Feather 2 had to go back, resupply. And then after a few seconds later, it should be back out. Another attempt to take it out. Round 2, up here it is. So let's go and follow this Peace Feather. I think this is an F4, basically with Maverick missiles on it. Fires its missiles, does take out 110, and these Peace Pheasants are, I think, 90 points each, so that was definitely worth it. Pongay 2 gets taken out, but another F-16 with seed missiles also gets shot down, so my seeds aren't the best of what's going on. But that is another seed that brought down. Like I said, I do have plenty of those. But we're whittling away their air defenses, slowly but surely over time, and then also taking out their forces. Artillery is actually moving up and counter-battering where they're actually firing back. I think this is Sandra Knight. I gave it a few whacks to try to counter battery, but I didn't have all that much luck. Sabres coming in with those rocket pods. Wonder what exactly I'm going to have it try to go for. Unless the force I was trying to do probably disappeared. as it has to fly back out and around, get a good line of sight on where I actually wanted it. And back to my side safe and sound as I'm bringing up more infantry to secure and be able to push forward. Saber is moving up, is now into prime position, and where did I order this attack on? The Type 59. So they actually got panicked and the HQ-7 shot down the Saber because, well, it had no ECM to try to stop them. Peace Feathered moved up and did take out the BTR and come back around, and I'm like, maybe I'd go after this Strela 10M. Or what do I go for with this Peace Feathered? Oh, I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, take out the Type 59. And the HQ is actually being artilleried by, yep, Sanders again, by those Caesars. Peace Pheasant does get out if the HQ-7 is taken out. That stun probably saved the Peace Pheasant's life. And I'm gearing forward all of my forces, which all of these are amphibious. They're going to be making their way into this forest line. And I decided it's my turn to finally take this so that we can continue our push forward. As Roar has continued to push, they're trying to counterattack to stop him from continuing to move forward. The HQ-7 is dead. You can stop artillerying that crater to oblivion. There's Anders. And, yep, I have this AH-1T basically in reserve for the TOW-2 missiles, ready to move in case any heavy tanks move up. Both Tong-2s are being peppered by the Commando Marines, which are actually good stationary fighters. So they're going to hold them back with Type 59, 1B. Those are going to be the most dangerous to the Commando Marines, but there are some Legions here. They can get within range, they can probably take those out. So the enemy force is trying to hold off this push from Roar here. And meanwhile, I've actually been dropping smoke artillery onto this building, but, well, there's a problem. A couple of those tanks died, and my infantry are actually trying to actively push them out of the way. Oh, this is silly. They don't know what to do. It's like ants. You put a leaf in their path, and they're like, I'm lost, I don't know what to do. But they're actually finally able to get across here and pushing the tank. Come on, you can do it. Just push that tank wreck out of the way. The smoke was starting to clear, so I dropped a little bit extra smoke artillery. Now, there is a problem with the Choesong-2. They're static. They don't actually close quarter combat light machine guns, so they can't use them if they have enemy in their exact same forces that they are. And the Lee Red, well, they can. So I need to get my Choesong-2 all spread out to be able to take out the enemy forces. And again, the VDV-90s, they're going to be able to take out these Choesong-2s on their own. And so I need to have some more reinforcements. So the K9 Thunders are once again going to be called into action to be able to try to drop artillery, and then dropping them right here, basically trying to keep the VDV to push them back so I at least have enough space to set up these Choesong-2s so that they can engage them properly. The Lee Red are under attack by the Choesong-2s. They're only using the K2 rifle. As the artillery is coming in, really stuns up both the Choesong-2 and VDV-90. VDV-90 are issued to retreat, which is what my desired effect was. As the last barrage does take out that last man, Choesong-2, and they're going to be disciplined later for the constant friendly fire that they're having here. But anyways, I managed to push out the VDV-90s, and this allows me to bring up the Choesong-2, which does even the odds. Yes, 5 men are vastly inferior to, let's see, 33 men. So it's about even, I would say. T-72M, they're moving up and are actually engaging the Choesong-2 85s here as I was moving up. I didn't notice that the MTPs were under my control, but they actually got back into where they belong. My forces have managed to properly push up and stop these VDV forces, which were in BTRs, from successfully getting in. So with my Choesong-2 taking part of the damage, and the Chikasa Hawagi Band with their auto recoilless rifles and the KFB-25 to 25mm ripping apart these VDV-90 as well as the KFB-25 from here also moving across the river to take across. I moved them across so that they could see outside the smoke and help assist with my infantry, and then moved them across and they were to follow up. And my successful push across has been achieved. Peace Pheasant 2s have moved up, 2 at a time. 1 tank taken out and a vehicle taken out as well. Peace Pheasant 2 was going to go for T-72M, but unfortunately they do disappear, so rather than react immediately inside the AA, I moved him out of range over to the left as he's safe, and now I can turn around and then the T-72Ms do get revealed once again. I hope that they can still stay to the line of sight, as I instead, I guess, go after another pair of tanks over here before that Beast Feather 2 gets taken out. Shosong Suits move up with their laws, stop these OTs from moving out, and knock out these Proletary in the open. So this KFB 25, they're moving up. Fabeo moves up, is firing its seed missiles, but the Raphaels do move up, try to take out the Fabeo. And so the Fabeo does get shot down, and we are in a better and better position. My Peace Bridge came up with those shorter range aims, wasn't actually quite able to take out the Fabeo. As our combined push is pushing up, Sanders is now across on his side, which you never want to have happen, to have the enemy manage to cross the river over on this side, because this side's much more easier to defend. But if they're able to get across, you're in a world of hurt, which Sanders is giving out the pain for free. I have my forces still here, kind of forgotten. I'm kind of focusing here on the stretched in part. And I also have secondary layer of defense in case this gets overrun. But I'm quickly sizing up my options about when I should move these forces forward and overwhelm the enemy. So the enemy is finding that their real estate is shrinking rather rapidly. I'm moving up my OH-6 and AH-1T Cobra with its TOW-2 missiles, able to try to see if we can find anything to shoot at, and it's definitely finding things to shoot at with those TOW-2 missiles. BTR fires its TOW-2 against this Afghansky, which is going to be quite dangerous if it gets too close, because the Afghansky doesn't have quite the range against helicopters. TOW-2 missile going for the BTR does, in fact, miss. I have my Peace Bridge actually go for a helicopter. Does successfully shoot down that helicopter. That is the one saying these Peace Bridges are elite, but he took quite a bit of damage from that, and his radar is malfunctioning and quite heavily damaged. And I really should evac him. Maybe I'll take pity on him. My AH-1T takes out a Tor, which was either off or out of missiles. Probably off, because those 16 missiles don't go by that quickly unless we are really sacrificing planes and helicopters. And I don't think that's what Sanders was doing, really, at that point. Though, without the TOW-2s and Hydras, he now gets to go back to the FOB, which has constantly had these cargo trucks moving back and forth. It's nearly empty as I'm just moving these cargo trucks back and forth, back and forth. To resupply my troops because the amount of artillery rain, like I said, have been falling upon their heads. They really needed those artillery umbrellas, which basically come in the form of supplies. Pongay, basically, the enemy has a lot of radar AA, but those are basically Pongay 2s, if I recall. Yep, they basically have 2-shot missiles. They're next to the FOB, and they're just rapidly keep resupplying. I don't think I failed to notice that they were just all landing there. I think that's me firing that, or that the I don't know where my K9s are. But nope, it's Sanders' artillery, but he is taking out those artillery pieces. That's good. A Peace Pheasant comes in, suicides to take out both of those T-72Ms. That clears the way. Another Peace Pheasant is in the wings waiting. And Roar basically puts the attack marker out, and I said, okay, yep, let's go for it. Everybody, let's go. I've got the K1. I figured, hey, I'm feeling good. I've got the armor support ready. I've got all my meat shields ready up front here. And I had a Peace Pheasant 2 flying around, and I'm just like, hey, you know what? There's some tanks here. Those look kind of juicy to take out so that my infantry can get across. Okay, no problem. Peace Pheasant fire. One of the Type 59s are taken out. The other one's taken out, but does get taken out by the sheer amount of AA that they have. KM900s meet a couple of Type 59 1Bs. These actually do have Strela 2Ms, which are kind of interesting, but they're not really the best. Moving up my K1. I'm going to have my K1 fire at these Type 59s. Does take out the Type 59, but both of them at point blank range does take out the K1, much to my surprise. I'm like, oh, okay, that wasn't really supposed to happen, but my recoilless rifles, Chikasa Hawagi Bad, are now engaging the Type 59, which is now panicked after they took a direct hit from one of my recoilless rifles. Another Habiong 90 comes in and takes it out as they're bringing in more Type 59s to try to hold off my forces here. There's another Type 59 is over here trying to, which I'm having my Shosong Suits redirect to try to take that out, as well as moving up a BO here. This is kind of cluing into Roar that I think he needs to move forward. Sanders is moving forward with a Leclerc and Leopard 2A4, basically a huge armor push to back up my infantry. So we're actually doing a really good coordinated push, as well as all of my infantry are just humping it, and are able to get across. They finally managed to clear a path, pushing all those tank wrecks across so that they can get forward. JH7s are moving up as my Mistrals are going to be acquiring. One of the missiles fires, takes out the JH-7, and instant kill, get the final kill, and that does actually end the game. And even though you saw I was losing quite a bit of planes left and right, I have nearly 3,000 losses, but I have about 4,000 kills, so that was actually a pretty well fought game, in my opinion. Mistral shot down a number of planes that were trying to go over. These missiles did work as K1 at the very beginning. To be able to do that first push, to be able to take out all of these vehicles and help assist, and helping to kind of lock down that force initially before Roar on the left side could secure it, was definitely good. I love sabers. They're able to quickly come in, do a rocket barrage, and get out. And if there's no AA that actually shoots back at them, at about 5-10 seconds later, they're back out, ready to rocket artillery again. M36 got quite a few kills, so they are a little slow on the fire rate, but they're pretty nice, especially since they're only 10 points each. Pretty good to just kind of get just extra guns and firepower in a certain area for supporting fire. And then a pretty much regular amount of kills and everything going on here. AH-1T taking out 3 M47 Pattons. No idea where at, but that is quite noticeable. Peace Bridge shot down 2 Jastribs and a anti-air helicopter. Very good. Peace Bridge. And, of course, the K9 Thunder killed that one shot, killing 4 tankish Shows immediately. That was quite beautiful to take. K1, A1 only took out a couple of tanks before being overwhelmed itself. The other K9 Thunder helped with its artillery fire. And then it's just Peace Pheasants and planes and Cobras all the way through, just killing a whole bunch of stuff. But these were very crucial kills. These tanks that needed to die allowed my infantry to be able to push forward, which allowed Sanders to follow up with his tanks as well in this combined push going forward. That Peace Pheasant killing the T-80BV, that was absolutely perfect. And yeah, just going through. And then, of course, the final kill was the Mistral coming through with the JH-7. But yeah, apparently 2 Type 59 1B, the close range firing simultaneously can take out a K1, but K1 can also take one out immediately. So don't get these things too close. So anyways, I just thought that'd be nice to do a war game video for you guys, as well as a little bit of kind of what to expect coming up. I probably will get to playing a bit more war games. This was definitely fun. I definitely want to do a bit more of this again. And I'm sure you guys would enjoy the content of Wargame Red Dragon. So yeah, even though stuff's going to be popping up a little bit more War Thunder videos and PlanetSide 2 from about a year ago and all that, don't worry about it. The Second Korean War Total Victory Challenge, that's in the works. And don't worry, I've got a strategy for that to really take Pyongyang in one fell swoop, I should say. I've done it before. It's just the leading up part, the beginning part where we have to fall back. I have to figure out how to pick when to retreat and when to advance and when to stand my ground and still get total victory. So, anyways, I'll see you guys then in future videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all later.